In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a complete guide to the Forge Roblox. If you guys are a new player, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end because I'm going to be sharing with you guys each and everything that helped me progress faster inside the Forge. And even if you guys are a mid-game player, keep watching this video because I have a bunch of very useful information for you guys. As always, hit that like and subscribe button if you guys want to be a part of the OG 400,000 subscribers. We're only 10,000 subscribers away from hitting 400k, so if you guys want to be a part of it, hit that subscribe button right now and join the family. Anyways, the first thing you want to do when you first spawn into the Forge Roblox is obviously go ahead and speak to Sensei Moro. Sensei Moro is going to give you guys a tutorial of the entire game. Complete this tutorial, you're going to get like $1,000 for completing this or something, and using that $1,000 or $500, whatever it might be, go ahead and purchase your first pickaxe, which is going to be the iron pickaxe. This pickaxe is going to have a power of 10, a luck boost of plus 5%, and is going to be pretty useful for mining. So the entire concept of this game is to mine ores and then forge these ores into weapons and armor. You can then sell these weapons and armor or keep them to yourself and upgrade your own inventory. But anyways, once you guys have your pickaxe, you want to go ahead and head inside of the cave, and with the first pickaxe you buy, you will probably only be able to mine these pebbles. But before you start mining, go ahead and start Nod's quest. Nod's gonna give you guys a quest to mine a bunch of pebbles and rocks and, collect a bunch of ores and stuff. And since you're gonna be doing that anyways, why not do this quest in the background so you get extra money and XP. You can also start this guy's quest, but this guy gives you a quest to kill enemies, and early on you don't really want to fight enemies because you won't have a weapon for starters and of course no armor. So for now, just go ahead and start this one. You can also start this one if you want, there is no harm to it. But using your iron pickaxe, you simply want to go ahead and farm a bunch of these rocks. In particular, you want to go ahead and farm 34 rocks. Once you guys have 34 of any rocks, it does not matter. You now want to head back to the spawn area and actually forge your first weapon or armor. Now early on, I don't really recommend making yourself armor. It does not really matter, guys. So for now, don't worry about making yourself the best armor or the best weapon because honestly, the ores you get from Island 1 are useless. So instead, what I recommend you guys to do with the materials that you just got, once again, I told you guys to get 34 of any materials. It could be different materials. Just go ahead and put 34 of any ores you want inside of the furnace. This doesn't have to be a single material. As I said before, you can mix and match, it does not matter. But basically what we're trying to do is make yourself a heavy chest plate. Now the reason we are making a heavy chest plate is because this is what sells for the most money. As you guys can see, this pickaxe here made with the most simple ores is gonna sell for $2,000. One thing you always want to keep in mind is never ever sell your ores directly to this guy. As you guys can see, if I try and selling, let's say something like 25 sapphire and 14 cuprite, let's see how much money he gives us for this. As you guys can see, he's only gonna give me 1,354. But if we put the same materials into the furnace, hit forge. By the way, one more tip is always do this minigame perfectly. You do not want to mess this minigame. Click when the circles align with each other just like this, and you're gonna get a perfect score. And the higher the score, the better the material is going to sell for, the better the armor, the weapon is gonna sell for. So always keep that in mind. But check this out, guys. Using the materials that we used earlier, we made ourselves a heavy chest plate, and it is a 100% well-made chest plate, whatever you want to call it, and this thing is gonna sell for 3,100. Just a reminder that selling the ores themselves gave us almost half the price of just making it into a chest plate, so a minute's work could literally double your money, so make sure you guys craft it into heavy armor before you sell it. Speaking of selling things, you have to go over to this NPC, select whatever armor you're trying to sell, and just click on accept, and as you guys can see, you're gonna get paid for it. So you want to keep on doing this method over and over again until you guys have enough money to buy yourself the gold pickaxe. This pickaxe is only going to cost you guys 1,500, so it should be very easy to get. Once you have the gold pickaxe, go over to this side of the cave and you want to start mining right here. Mine these bigger rocks because they're going to give you guys more rarer materials. You can also forge yourself a weapon and start killing these enemies, but that's honestly up to personal preference. You guys can make weapons, you guys can make armor for yourself. It doesn't really matter at this point in the game because what you want to do right now is try and get to level 10 as quickly as possible by continuously forging and mining, and also you want to try and save up $10,000. Once you guys have done these two things, you want to head back inside of the portal that you should have inside your inventory, place it down and go over to Island 2, the Forgotten Kingdom. Over on Island 2, this is where your real grind actually begins. Once you guys first spawn on this island, you want to go ahead and purchase yourself the cobalt pickaxe. This is going to be a huge upgrade from your gold cobalt pickaxe. By the way, skip the platinum pickaxe that can be found on Island 1. It's not that good, and I recommend going directly to the cobalt pickaxe. Once you guys have your cobalt pickaxe, you want to go over to this area right here, and you want to go ahead and start Sensei Moru's quest. He's going to give you guys another tutorial for Island 2, so go ahead and complete that, come back to him and start his quest. You also want to go ahead and start this guy's quest. Then you want to go over to the entrance of the cave, and you want to start Captain Rowan's quest and the Masked Stranger's quest. All of these quests are basically the same thing, and while you guys just casually play the game, you're going to be completing these in the background, earning lots and lots of money and XP really fast. This is crucial. Do not skip out on starting these quests, because this is how we're going to be making majority of our money early on inside the Forge Roblox. So anyways, once you guys have your quests started, you simply want to go over to this first area and just mine a bunch of these basalt rocks. And yeah, you're going to be spending a lot of time here, unfortunately, but basically use the same method as before. Get a bunch of these ores and craft them into heavy chest plates and sell them off. And yeah, you want to continuously do this over and over and over again. One other thing that I completely forgot to mention is, of course, races. This game has something called races, and each race has their own perks. The best races in the game are going to be Angel, Demon, and Dwarf race. If you guys manage to get Angel and Demon race, use them. You do not need to worry about any other race. But if you guys did not manage to get these, try and get yourself the Dwarf race, because this is the best for mining, which is how we're going to be making most of our money. As you guys can see, the Dwarf race actually gives you guys 15% mining speed and 5% better forging, which is going to help you guys out, especially when you guys are a new player. Additionally, it also gives you guys 20% chance to deal 50% damage to rocks. So to get races inside the Forge Roblox, you can head over to the official Forge Discord server, and over in the codes section, you can actually just get yourself a bunch of codes here. These update like every single day, sometimes every 2 days. So make sure you guys check this every 2 days to see if there is a new code. To enter code, simply go to settings and you can enter it right there. But anyways, once you guys have your perfect race and you've been grinding for hours and hours, you want to try and save up $67,000 inside of the Forge. This is because this will let you guys buy the Mythril pickaxe. And yeah, you want to skip all of the other pickaxe such as the titanium and the uranium pickaxe, because these are honestly not that worth it, and go straight to the Mythril pickaxe, which is going to cost you guys once again $67,000. With this pickaxe, you can finally move on to some bigger ores. So get yourself the Mythril pickaxe and head back inside of the cave. This time you want to go underneath the danger sign, and you want to go ahead and take the first right, which is going to bring you guys over to this area. Now usually there is 2 veins of basalts that spawn right here, and this is honestly the best spot to AFK inside the Forge Roblox. You can just leave your PC running here until your inventory gets full. As you guys can see, these basalt veins spawn here over and over again, and you can mine both of these at the same time and get a lot of rare ores inside the game really quickly. But if you guys prefer to not AFK and want to actively play the game, then I recommend you guys to go back over to the entrance of the cave, and this time instead of going right, you want to take a hard left and go inside of this section of the cave, and you want to keep going, you want to go deeper, and right over here is going to be the best spot for you guys to mine. Just keep in mind that there is going to be a lot of enemies here, so you will have to fight them, and you'll probably need some really good armor. So my advice to you guys, just go over to the AFK spot. It's honestly really good and it's really OP early on. But anyways, continue to do the money method that I told you guys earlier. Keep mining, keep crafting everything into heavy armor, and then keep selling. At this point, you should also try and experiment with some armors. You know, you guys just enjoy the game, learn all of the mechanics. Unfortunately, you can't learn everything by watching videos. Obviously, you have to play the game and experiment for yourself. So do that at this point. This is going to be the best time for you guys to do so. Of course, continue to complete your quests. You're going to get a lot of money for that. And at this point, you are ready to get one of the best pickaxes in the entire game. For this, you're going to have to head back over to Island 1. Once on Island 1, you want to go ahead and speak to this NPC called Bard. Bard's going to give you guys a quest to bring his lost guitar back to him. And to get his lost guitar, you want to go inside of the cave. Once inside the cave, you want to take a left. And then you want to go ahead and jump inside of this bush right over here. Once you guys are inside this bush, you're going to find Bard's lost guitar sitting right over there. Collect the guitar and return it back over to Bard. Bard's going to give you guys a bunch of money and XP and a secret key, which you can then take the key back inside of the cave. This time you want to go right and keep heading down this way until you see another right turn. And after this, you're going to see a massive giant gate right over here. You want to go ahead and open the gate by clicking E on the padlock. And right here, you will be able to buy yourself the arcane pickaxe for $125,000. This is regarded to be the best pickaxe in the game, just slightly worse than the demonic pickaxe. But honestly guys, the demonic pickaxe costs like $500,000 to get, and it's super hard to get compared to the arcane pickaxe. So I recommend getting the arcane pickaxe before you guys try and get the demonic one. But again, this is not much of an upgrade. I honestly just recommend sticking to the arcane pickaxe. Right, so once you guys have the arcane pickaxe, it's time to make your first proper weapon inside of the Forge Roblox. This weapon is not going to be easy to make at all, and you're going to have to do a lot of grinding, but trust me, it's going to be worth it, and this is considered to be a endgame weapon. So to get the ores to make this weapon, you first want to enter the cave on Island 2, once again head underneath the danger sign, and you want to make your way back over to the basalt veins that I showed you guys earlier. But this time you want to go underneath, and as you guys can see, there is a secret room right here. In this secret room, you're going to find a lot of rocks that you can mine, but the particular rock that we are looking for is going to be something called the volcanic rock. If you don't see any volcanic rock, then just mine a bunch of these normal rocks, and the volcanic rock should spawn in eventually. The volcanic rocks should look something like this. Obviously, watch out for the enemies, guys, because these are extremely strong. But anyways, mine these volcanic rocks, and you will have to mine a lot of them, and the ores that you're trying to get is either darkite or something like demonite, which is going to look something like this. These are the rarest ores you can get inside of the game currently, so yeah, this is going to take you guys a long time to get, but trust me, the weapons and armor you make out of these ores is going to be the best in the game. Another trick I can give you guys is bring the volcanic rocks health down to 2000 HP, put your graphics all the way down to 0, and as you guys can see, you can actually see every single thing that this rock is about to drop. And if you don't like what it's about to drop, like this one right here, you can simply just wait for 30 seconds and this volcanic rock is actually going to regenerate. And I just noticed that this thing is about to give me darkite, so I'm actually going to go ahead and mine it. Darkite is super hard to get, so if you guys get it, consider yourself very lucky because it's very rare. And boom, we just got ourselves some darkite. Huge W. But anyways, with the darkite or demonite that you get, make your way back over to spawn and head over to the forging section. The recipe for the best weapon in the game is going to be 4 demonite. Unfortunately, I only have 3, so keep that in mind. You want to have 4 of it. You also want to have 2 iron ore, which you can get from basalt veins, and you also want to have 2 magmite, which you can get from the volcanic rocks. Oops, sorry, I meant 1 magmite. So yeah, this is going to be the recipe. Just keep in mind you need to have 4 demonite. Craft this and you're going to get yourself a straight sword. The rarer the straight sword, the better. So if you guys get the chaos straight sword, good. If you guys get the regular one, you could try again. It's not the best. The second and more difficult recipe is going to be with darkite. For this, you're going to need 3 darkite, 2 iron ore, and 2 magmite. This is probably the best weapon you can make in the game. Once again, try and get yourself the chaos version. If you don't get it, it's fine, but just know that this is way better than this. Anyways, once you guys have your new weapon, we can now move over to your new armor set. Now, the armor set is going to be a lot easier to craft than the weapon. I'm going to make things very simple for you. The ores you're going to need for your armor set are going to be starting from the rarest, lightite, which is going to be super difficult to get, but you can get this by AFKing at the basalt veins. You're also going to need a bunch of Mythril, which once again is kind of hard to get. And finally, you're going to need yourself a bunch of iron ore. Once again, head back over to the forging section, and starting off with the chest plate, make sure you select armor first right here. Pop down 14 iron ore, followed by 12 Mythril, and finally 13 iron ore. This is going to give you guys a 73% chance to make a heavy chest plate. Now this is crucial. Try and get yourself the dark knight heavy chest plate and not the regular knight chest plate. If you get the knight chest plate, you have to do this process again. You want to try and get yourself the dark knight chest plate. It is so much better, trust me guys. So once again, I repeat, if you get the knight chest plate, try again, get yourself the dark knight chest plate. Anyways, moving on to the helmet, this is going to be 9 lightite, 8 Mythril, and 9 iron ore. Once again, try and make yourself the dark knight set and not the regular set, which is going to be the knight set. And finally, moving on to leggings, you want to have 11 lightite, 9 Mythril, and 10 iron ore. This armor set by any means is not the best in the game, but this is considered to be a endgame armor set. You can still make better armor sets using demonite and darkite, but honestly guys, those are so difficult to get. 90% of y'all aren't even going to be bothered enough to get like 30 demonite or 30 darkite. It's so difficult to get. So for most of you, this is probably going to be the final armor set you make on Island 2. If you guys still want a demonite and darkite set, I've made complete videos on that, so check out my channel. But anyways, let's move on. Now that you guys have the best pickaxe, the best weapon, and the best armor inside of the Forge to Roblox, it's now time to start maxing out your pickaxe. One thing I have barely covered inside of this video, or actually not covered at all, is going to be runes. Runes are essential if you guys want to add a bunch of perks to your armor, your weapon, your pickaxe, etc. Currently, runes are obtainable from a few particular enemies such as the bomber, which drops the blast chip and the miner shard, or the reaper, which gives you guys the drain age shard, the blight, which gives you guys the venom shard, or the death axe skeleton, which gives you guys the rare notch. Once again, you guys can explore all of these at your own time, but for now I'm going to be focusing on the luck miner shard because we want to get luck miner shards for our pickaxe. This basically gives us an increased overall luck on our pickaxe, and this is going to help you guys out a lot inside the forge to get rarer and rarer ores inside the game. The best place to farm these shards is going to be inside the cave right over here, and you just want to kill a bunch of these enemies. Once again, with the weapon and armor you have by now, this should not be difficult at all. As you guys can see, I'm just going through these like butter. Now once again, as I mentioned before, these enemies do not spawn the miner shard. What we are looking for is the bomber enemy, and the bomber enemy does spawn here. You just have to clear these guys out, and yeah, it's basically RNG. You want to wait for it to spawn in, and it's a 1 in 15% chance for the bomber to actually drop the miner shard, so it's going to take you guys quite a long time. But once you guys get a miner rune, you have to check if it is the right miner rune. So miner runes can have different effects such as mine power, yield, swift mining, etc, etc. To each their own preference. Whatever miner shard you guys want, you can use, but make sure that the percentage is at least over 10%, and don't use these garbage ones. These are only 5%. So yeah, whatever perk you decide to put on your weapon or your pickaxe, just make sure the percentage is high. 16 is the max, and above 10 is good. But anyways, try and get yourself a bunch of luck shards inside of your pickaxe, and once you do all of this, you have basically completed the entire game. Obviously, there is still better armor you can get, there is still the demonite pickaxe you can get, and there is many quests that I haven't mentioned inside of this video that you can complete, and all of this is for you to explore and learn on your own. I just tried to explain all of the basics that you need to follow, so if you guys found this video helpful, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. Once again, we're on road to get to 400,000 subscribers, so if you guys want to be part of the OG 400k, hit that subscribe button right now. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you guys in the next one, peace out.